I have one simple question.
Yes, please.
What is your opinion about the gang rapes in India and no result has come so far?
Well, I think the case that people talk about is the eye-opener case, is the one on December, where this young girl by name Jyoti Pandey was brutally raped by 6 men in a moving bus. In that it has 2 parts. One is that of the 6, one of them is a juvenile. And the Juvenile Justice Act is very lenient on anyone below the age of 18. And this particular person was only 17 years and 8 months. So he was, or 9 months. So in other words, he was 3 months short. Of course, there was a dispute whether his age, which was in a school living certificate, is a genuine age. Newspaper reporters went to his mother in Balia or some such place, and she said that no, I didn't know when he was born, and when we took him to school, the principal asked us the date of birth, and we said to the principal, whatever you think is right, you put that as the date of birth. So there was a question on that. Now the problem with that, this particular boy is that he is the one who committed the worst, brazen, depraved rape on this girl, because of which she died. I mean, ultimately died. I can't even describe what he did. It's a so debased thing. Now it got entangled with this question that this boy was a Muslim and this girl was a Hindu and so on. And people tried to suppress that whole story. And the boy, because the Chief Justice for some reason insisted that these are boys, whether they are 1 month less than 18 years or 5 months less than 18 years or 1 day less than 18 years or even 1 second less than 18 years, they have to be treated like juveniles. So, therefore I decided to go to court to say that if I had said go to court and saying that strike down the act or have a new act or a new amendment, then the boy will not be subject to the amended act. He will be only subjected to the act as it was prevailing when he committed the act, which means the old law. And therefore he will escape. And he will escape because the punishment there is that he will be kept, maximum punishment is he will be kept in a remand home where he will live like a normal person and he will go to school and all that. But he will not have a right to go anywhere else, anywhere he likes. He has to control movement. It's a very minimal judgment. So I came up with the argument in the court and I filed a petition saying that the Juvenile Justice Act was enacted because the United Nations passed a resolution saying that every country must enact a Juvenile Justice Act, in which the punishment given to the juveniles will be different from the punishment given to the adults. And in that they did not prescribe the age of 18. They only said that the age limit should be fixed at below which the person will be treated as juvenile. And it also said that where heinous crimes are committed, whether that person was intellectually and emotionally mature to commit this act, that should be taken into consideration. Now this fellow's act, nobody can say was done in a fitness of juvenile delinquency. He committed that act because he must have known he is committing that act. It's so despicable that he must have known that he is doing it. It is not declared mental case. He's just a man, is a barbarian, and he has committed this act, so he knew it. So therefore, there the court says, the United Nations Convention says that if the person knew what he was doing, then he must be treated as an adult, irrespective of his age. And surprisingly, the juvenile age in United States is 14. The juvenile age in America, in England, is only 10. And even in our own country, till this act came, under the IPC, the juvenile age was considered as 12. So, I certainly think that a man commits this kind of depraved rape, he must have known what he's doing. Otherwise, he couldn't commit this in a state of trance and so on. So, I went to court. The court has admitted my petition, issued notice, but then for the same reason that the Chief Justice started talking. And his wife is also involved in juvenile, some NGO for juveniles. And so, therefore, I felt, you can't get justice with this kind of mindset. And therefore, I have asked it to be posted in July. And in July, I am sure that the court will read into the law that the intention was that 18, subject to the person being emotionally and intellectually immature for anything, for being above 18. So once that is read in, he will be brought into the IPC, and IPC means he can die. In the meantime, of the remaining 5, 2 have been brutalized in the TR jail and both have died. So we have now only 3 left. So maybe they will also be the same way. Because the shock in the country over that rape. Finally, I will say, you can control rapes only if the punishment is so severe that he will not do it. I mean, people will say, no, Babra, ye to bahut hai. Today, most people think, all right, 5 years, 7 years, if provided the girl doesn't die, they think they can come out. And, it's not a deterrent punishment. My view is that in the United States, once one lady took a law into her own hands, and she committed what is called as a bobbit cut. I don't know. I think that we should make as law in India. Yeah, bobbit, okay. So bobbit cut should be a punishment which should be given by the Supreme Court, not by any lower courts. And that will be a deterrent, because in our village areas, that would be a real loss of manhood, which you will find as unbearable. So if a man is misusing his private parts, he must pay for price for it by losing it. And I will certainly, I can't promise what the NDA government will decide, but I certainly will push for such a punishment as a deterrent punishment.